Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. We're already exhausted. We've
been weeding.
we've been weeding for hours now.
Well,
so
she has.
Look,
I haven't been
alive.
weeding.
Look alive now.
Just
everybody,
a few.
wake up.
Wake up, everybody.
Get a rolling here, folks.
It's Thursday
Make it happen.
morning. It's
Whoop,
the Tom and
whoop.
Kelly show. And what do you usually ask me?
Where are we, Tom?
Boy, she's a fireball this
Where
morning.
are we, Tom?
Where are we? Hey, this is our 31st episode, and
Is it really?
yes,
Wow.
overall, at least officially, because we've got some cameo
And
things
second,
going on.
and this is season 2, which is way better than season 1.
It is because, because we're
Well-
experienced. We're experienced. That's about all I can say.
In some ways,
Yep.
in some areas, I'm thinking,
But guess where we're at, guys? This is our 4th time at the Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Community.
Reverend Dr.
Reverend Doctor. Oh, is that how we do it?
Reverend Dr.
Okay.
Martin Luther King Jr. Park
Community Food and Learning Garden. Yeah! And I'm Tom Bellinger, the chair of the Olmsted County Extension Master Gardeners.
And I'm exhausted.
And this is...
I'm Kelly Ray Kirkpatrick, Vice Chair.
She keeps
Volunteer
me in line.
program
She
here
keeps
in
me in
Olmsted
line,
County.
so.
I do. I try to keep you in line.
But anyway, we're having a fun time here.
We are?
Not because we're not weeding right now. So,
Yeah,
but we're
having
going to
fun
talk
now.
about, you saw the post,
Seed
Bolting.
saving.
Bolting. And
what is bolting, Tom?
bolting.
Did you look the definition
I
up?
did
You're
look the-
analytical. Whip it on us. Whip it on us.
So when plants, they do a vertical sprout, they shoot up
Elongation.
and they elongate, and they're flowering so that they can create seeds. And you know what?
Isn't
I
that
asked Kelly, I
amazing?
said, I didn't know vegetables bolted, but then I'm thinking we eat leafy vegetables, we eat the stems of vegetables, we eat the roots of
Yeah.
vegetables. Nobody sees carrots bolting or
Yeah.
radishes bolting.
So that's the difference. There's something called market ready for a vegetable, and then there's seed harvest ready. So carrots are a biennial. They don't even seed till their second year, but whoever leaves a carrot in the ground or stores it in their root cellar so that they can replant it in the spring for a second year of growth so that it flowers to produce seed. Well, guess what? The seed farmers do, the people who grow seeds.
Uh-oh.
And you can do that too, to save money every year, to protect and preserve plant biodiversity, to not add more income to those corporations that are trashing our soils and our waters, and to become more community oriented and get involved with your neighborhood and do these fun things and share seed love.
Seed love. You know, before I met her, she was known as a seed library. So I've got a lot more
The seed
nicknames.
lady. The
seed
seed
lady.
lady.
Seed lady.
Yeah, the
seed
seed
library.
lady.
Seed lady. And of course, I've come up with some other nicknames since then. But she has me growing onions and carrots so that I can seed save for next year.
And Heidi gave you some onions.
And I
Yeah.
got some onions too, but
Yeah.
I'm going to eat those. Can I just eat them?
No, you
Okay.
have to leave them in the ground.
I
and
know.
mulch them so they go to flower next
Yeah.
year because they're a biennial as well. The allium genus is allium genera is biennial, so they
Yep.
flower the second year. And some onions are perennial, like chives, garlic chives, allium tomentosum.
I like those. They're in my garden, and I usually take a couple nibbles when I'm out there.
So what do you need to know about seed saving, Tom? We got to get this show on the road.
Yes,
here.
we
We're
got
just
to
sitting
get
talking.
going. So you need to, first of all, you got to recognize when they're going to bolt. And
But most importantly,
it's
you
a
need
perennial.
You
Is it
need,
an is
you
it
need to know
annual?
what the heck you planted.
Biennial? Is it a biennial? Yes. You know what?
An
Yeah.
annual.
What
You
kind
need
of
to know what
family?
you planted. So you need to know the botanical name. Okay? You need to know what you've planted because species, the same species, which is generally the second name in your botanical identification,
Genus,
your
species,
botanical
yep.
name, genus is the first, Brassica. Species is the second, Juncea, Napus, Oleracea. So Brassica juncea, Brassica napus, Brassica oleracea, all the same genus, all the same plant family, the brassicas, but different species.
Within that
okay?
yep.
Within that family.
Yep.
So what you need to do is know what you're planting so that you don't necessarily have to do the work of isolating. So we're going to go into the garden and we're going to show you what this looks like.
Uh-oh.
So right here, Tom.
Camera
can you
flip
the
time.
camera?
I'm going to try to flip the camera. Okay, so let me see. There we
Are
go.
your hands
Yes.
as dirty as mine? I have like tree sap on mine.
Okay. Flip. I'm going to flip the camera.
Camera flippage going on.
Okay. Flipping the camera. There's that. And okay. And we are going to Flip. Gosh. Okay. Did I
You have
flip?
it flipped? Right here, Tom. Right here. We're
Right
going right
here.
here. We're
You
looking
know,
at these two. So, oh, Tom.
You know, my flipping
So like
doesn't
we
work.
said in the beginning,
Okay.
some of our skill sets have improved. Some of them have not.
Okay.
So we are looking at this bed right here.
Okay.
Okay. And this is
Wow.
curly side.
You gotta flip it.
Tom,
I know.
it's backwards.
I know. I can't.
Curly Siberian kale,
What am I
which
doing right there?
is.
What am I doing right there?
I have no
I
idea
am
what you're doing, Tom.
clicking the flip button, and it's not flipping. There. Wait.
More effects. Snowman
Right there.
thing.
That is
Find
the
if it-
flip. Flip camera.
I don't think it's reading your fingerprint for some reason. Save effect.
Something isn't
Report.
working.
Something isn't working.
and it's me. Okay. All right. So we can't read signs, Kelly.
Okay, so this is
Jeez.
Brassica. We just talked about
Yep.
the genus and the species. This is
Yep.
backwards for all you really spatial folks. You're going to get this right away. Brassica napus. But right next to it over here, we have Brassica juncea. This is a mustard green. So notice these two differences right here. We've got a Brassica napus, no bolting, no elongation
Yep.
going on, no blossoms. But what do we have over here? Oh my gosh.
That's
look at all those-
bolting. That
that's
is bolting.
Look at those
This is
beautiful
the-
flowers.
The epitome of bolting. Look at that. There's the planum below, and
So these are a mustard greens. This is Brassica juncea, okay? So these two, although they're both in the same family,
yep.
they are different species, right? So we don't need to isolate them. They're automatically isolating themselves by time. We have one that is not ready
Yep.
to go to flower, to produce seed, but we have another one that is. So many times what folks will do is when they find these things in their garden, they pull them out. They think they're done. But no, you can save the seed. If what, Tom?
You can.
This is the hybrid part of the show.
Oh my
Hybrid
God!
open
I
pollinated
can
part.
save the. I can save the seed. Well, first of all, if I make sure it's what I get it correct now. Look at see, there's you. Okay. We're going to save a seed, and we need to know. We've already gone through. We
If
need
it's
to
a
know
hybrid
what
or open pollinated.
If it's
because
open
hybrid
pollinated,
seeds,
you can't
if
really.
If you're
you
buying
can't.
F1 hybrids, they're like your standard poodle and your purebred German Shepherd. If you cross those suckers together, you're not going to get a pure puppy. You're going to get some shepherd doodle.
And you're not going to know what it is.
You're not going to know what it is.
Burn doodle.
Burn doodle.
Doodles, yep.
So you need to make sure your seeds are pure, and you do that by isolating, by maybe only planting one species
Yep.
of each particular plant in the garden, or isolating by time. Or what do we have going on back there, Tom?
Yeah, things are pollinated. There's self-pollinating plants like
Yeah.
tomatoes and such.
And beans.
And beans, and then there's some that are wind pollinated. Like corn is
Yep,
is
yep.
probably everybody
Yep,
knows
most
that
of
one.
the grasses.
And then we have the ones that need a pollinator, like insects, butterflies, bees, wasps, yeah,
Regular houseflies.
even bugs.
Anything that just like
Yep.
flips that pollen around and makes it go onto the.
So let's see what we got here under the tents.
Under the tent.
Under the
Don't
tent.
step on the carrot.
Don't step on the carrots. Those biennials are needed for next year. No.
So this is a spinach bed
Okay.
that we are keeping the seed safe. This is the only species of this planted in our garden. It's the only spinach.
So we want no cross-pollination.
Yeah. There's not going to be any of it happening.
Yep.
Right, because there's no other garden around here. That's the special part about this garden is we're not competing with friends or neighbors
Yep.
within
It's a wonderful
250
garden.
feet.
Yep.
So, so you harvest your things when they're market ready to eat, but when they start to elongate, certain of the dry seed species, or when they're just a little past harvest time, you
at the
might
bolting
let
here.
them
Yep.
go to seed. So, for instance, let's look at these.
So here's some other
broccolis.
bolting here, and then look at look at these.
Yeah, these are the spinach,
Yep.
male and female flowers, and look how we have little teeny pollinator bees, little baby
How do
native
they-
bees.
Oh my God!
doing
Yep.
their work there.
Let's hope for a big bumblebee to come along. But yes, there's
here's
there's
an
male and
example.
female flowers like in a squash plant.
Yeah.
And there's actually male and
let's
female
look at
plants, right? Dioecious plants
Yep,
that we talked about.
Yep, dioecious and then dioecious and monaceous.
Okay.
So look at these two broccolis.
Yeah.
This is still edible, right?
Yep.
We haven't harvested the broccoli since last Thursday. So some of the heads are really beautiful and ready to go and eat, and we'll cut these today. And some of them are starting to elongate. So if you wanted to save seed next year, these are the only broccolis planted in this garden. So we know that this species is already isolated because of its location.
So this
We'd
is
let
not
this go.
This is not a flower.
Yes, this is a flower.
This is a flower
We
that's
eat the-
already, it's okay, it's already
It's
turning to
starting
fruit. Elongate,
It's
yep.
beginning to bolt. It's elongating, and it's going to turn into a really big flower stalk.
Yep, okay.
And that's where the seeds come from, right? Seeds come from flowers. That's
So
why
the difference
flowers work.
between that and this time is...
Well, these are radishes.
Oh, there's a blend in here.
Tom,
Okay,
come on.
duh.
Tom,
Okay,
you
we
can
got
see
broccoli
there's a
and
different
radishes in the same
Yes,
bed. Okay.
we have double planting, double cropping going on because the radishes were at the ground level. The broccolis are much taller, and the radishes were done before the broccolis came along.
So
we've
being
got-
very efficient with the garden space
Trying to be
here.
very
Yeah.
efficient with the garden space.
Okay.
And you'll notice that these radishes are starting to form some seed pods already.
Ah, okay.
And this is incredible eating. These are so yummy to
Especially
eat.
when they're young and tender like that, right?
Yes,
So,
they're really good.
okay. Okay.
And
see.
and feisty. Did you eat the stem?
No, I kept the stem.
Okay, good.
But the
They're
stems
really
are good.
Yeah. So you can harvest your radish bulbs, but when they start to bolt and you see those leaves spike up, that doesn't mean they're done.
Yep.
Enjoy those radish pods, and then also save some of those seeds as they get dry. You may want to put a stake in them, like we have here on the spinach,
Yep.
right? And you may want to bag it so that the seeds don't burst all over the garden.
Okay.
And then, what was that word you used about the male and the female flowers?
Well, there's different plants. There's dioecious plants, but
Yes.
that's different than,
Yes.
than different
So-
flowers on the same plant, right?
Right, exactly.
Male and female plants, right?
Yes.
Or flowers on
So
squash.
we have across the back of the garden, on the east edge of the garden, we have a lot of squash. We have
Okay.
3 different varieties of squash. We've got a butternut, we've got a zucchini, and we've got a kaboka. So over here is the butternut,
Yep.
and these are all cucurbit families. So this is Cucurbita moschata. Again, the genus is Cucurbita, the species is moschata. And here we have Cucurbita pepo, genus Cucurbita, species pepo.
Yep. And I'm lost.
You're
I'm
lost.
camera lost right now.
Are you?
But-
Are we just looking at you?
We're looking at me and people are going like, I want to see plants. I don't want to see Tom. Okay.
You got it?
I'm
just gonna leave you
I'm
alone.
going to leave me alone. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here we go.
We need to work on this.
I know
Tom.
we need to.
This is
we
a bad
need to.
deal.
This is.
We're gonna lose viewership.
We've already lost viewership.
They-
Okay.
They shut up. So over here we got the butternut squash,
Yep.
Cucurbita moschata. In the center here we've got the zucchinis, Cucurbita pepo, and over here we've got the kaboka squash, Cucurbita maxima. 3 different species.
Yep.
They will not cross with each other. They can't. It's genetically impossible. So we can just let those blossoms and those insects do whatever they need to do.
Yep.
But if you had next to your zucchinis, same species, pepo,
Yep.
Cucurbita pepo, both of them, you would have to isolate your blossoms if you wanted to save your seed. And it's really kind of a fun thing to do. This is a great thing that kids love to do.
To identify the male and the female flowers.
Identifying the male and the female flowers.
Okay.
Exactly. So, and we are ready to harvest this costata romanesco. This is a lovely Italian zucchini. Do you have a knife?
Do I? No, I don't have a
didn't
knife
bring
with
my
me.
knife.
Okay.
But we've got 3 lovely zucchinis
Okay.
here. But you can see the male flowers here. They have a very long, slender stalk.
Yep.
And this flower is already spent. This one just opened today.
Wow.
And this one, it was yesterday's blossom. And this one was yesterday's blossom as well. So the male flowers have the male pollen inside, okay?
Yep.
Very different looking than what is inside the female flower. Can you
Oh
see
my
what's
gosh,
inside the female? See how
yes.
different those
So
are?
you got the pistils and the stamens here
Yes,
that are
yes.
in different
And you
flowers.
can see at the base of this flower, see how this is all swollen?
Yep.
It's actually forming a fruit already. So
Yep.
to pollinate these, to be able to have pure seed inside, you would hand pollinate this before the blossoms had opened. You'd have to carefully open the blossom, do your pollination.
Yep. This
Okay.
is manual pollination
Yep,
here.
mechanical method of isolation. And
yep.
then you would close the blossom back up with like a clothespin to prevent any insects from getting in there. And then you would mark this particular fruit here and wait for it to be very, very mature. Those
Yep.
huge big boats, the zucchinis that get away from you,
Yep.
have the nice, viable, mature seeds inside. But here at this stage where we eat the zucchini, these seeds aren't viable.
They're not viable
No,
anymore. Okay.
they're not ready to go yet. It's kind of like a premature baby.
So that's what you have to do if you want to propagate and seed save and.
If you need to isolate. But
Isolate
we have
them.
planned this garden so that
Yep.
we didn't need to do that extra work by 3 different species.
Okay, we got our compost bin here. So I think we probably, I guess we've covered bolt.
Fulfilling its life cycle in the first year. It's an annual.
Yep.
And
then
biennials do it their second year.
And that's what I'm going to be working on with my onions and carrots for you. Yep.
You sure are.
And I'm going to be doing that.
Kind of a funny thing that happened here in this garden. We had overwintered some onions, and in the spring I planted them all in a row, and they were just flowering. And a helper, because this is a community garden, came by and pinched off all of the blossoms. They didn't know that it was the second year. I didn't put a sign out, so we lost all of those blossoms for those onions, unfortunately. Onions are a biennial. And they thought they were doing something good, but that's what happens in a community garden sometimes. So we've got one more seed to show. See that little teeny baby bag over there, Tom?
Oh my God, yes. We're going to have to
Let's
flip
go
to
over
see
that quickly.
One
We're
more
flipping
bag.
again. Oh my
gosh, oh gosh. I'm definitely flipping away. Okay.
So nearly
Oh my
all
gosh, look at
tomatoes-
this. Yep, okay.
Nearly all tomatoes are the same species, Solanum lycopersicum. And what we did here at Local Food 101 last week is we placed a bag over. You got the camera
Yep.
flipped yet?
Yep. Okay,
You
yep.
think so?
Perfect.
Awesome, good. So we put a little bag on this to isolate these blossoms last week. They hadn't opened yet. They were
Wow.
just little teeny emerging blossoms. I don't even see one now. Like these right here. See how these haven't opened yet?
Yep.
But one has. So we put the bag over this whole entire blossom cluster. We're waiting for it to pollinate. And again, tomatoes are selfers.
Yep.
So they self-pollinate, so we don't need to have any insects in here. But once that ovary begins to swell and you can see that that tomato is forming at the base, then we can take this off. We'll mark it with a piece of string or a piece of yarn, maybe one of those bread twisty things. And we know that these are pure seeds from, which variety? Is
Pure or true
this?
seeds, right?
This is yellow pear tomato.
Yellow pear tomato. Okay,
So
yep.
these guys will be pure seed for
Yep.
yellow pear tomatoes, and we will save them for next year. Germinate our own seeds, saving money.
Wow, wonderful. So that's how it's done. We talked a little bit about bolting, obviously, and we talked a little bit about seed saving. And I think there's one more thing we want to mention before the end of the show here is...
Just one thing?
Well, we mentioned it last week as well, but we got some tours going on. And
We got beans too going on. Here,
we
have a
got
bean.
beans. Have beans. Okay. All right.
Those are juicy.
So with that, okay, we're going to talk a little bit. So Kelly and I did a post on our Facebook group calling out our members, those that have participated with us, just help us out, come to our tours, see us Master Gardeners. There's dozens of us, maybe 50, 60 of us that are going to be
Really
present
active,
in the
really
garden.
active,
Really
yeah.
active and in the gardens. And it's a great time to just get to know us, ask any question you may have.
See some cool gardens. There's 6 of them on the tour this year. Buy a ticket for a friend. They're $10.
Bring
Share
a friend,
the love.
do that. It's
Share
going to
the
be
love.
it'll be a nice couple hours.
Tours from
Southeast
4 to
Minnesota.
8:30, I believe, Southeast Rochester.
Rochester, yep.
And we've got one garden that is, I believe, out of the city limits over in Marion Township.
Yep.
So we're branching out into the county a little bit further with our tour, which is good, as we're Olmsted County Master Gardeners.
Yep. So we got that, and then there's also the Flower and Garden Club. It has a tour on the 16th. That's the Saturday before. And then
The
there's
Rochester
also
Garden and Flower Club,
Club,
yep.
yep.
So you can go on their website July 16th.
and
then
there's
Backyard
the
Bounty.
Backyard Bounty, and talk
Urban
about.
Homesteading Meetup Group.
And you've seen Kelly's garden, and that is a bountiful garden, and it is really looking great
July
this year.
16th. We've
July
got,
16th.
I think there's 6 gardens on that tour as well. Maybe there's 6 on the Rochester Garden and Flower Club.
6 is
one
a
as well.
good
Maybe
number.
10.
It
6
takes you a
6
couple
works.
hours, and
works.
then there's educational material in there that's posted. If you just if you're not comfortable talking to people,
So come learn. Come take the night off and just wander through people's gardens and just see some beauty. We need some flowers and some love in our lives here. So
Yep. So with that,
adieu.
I do, because you're getting some love from Tom and Kelly here. So
There you are. Lots
we
of
love you
flower
guys.
love.
Take care.
Thank you. Rock your day.
Bye bye. Okay, done.